This video is not sponsored by Bambu Lab. These are my headphones, and this is where they live. On the desk, taking up valuable space that could be used for storage. On the hook that ripped off the wall. On my head, hours after I stopped listening to anything, because putting them anywhere else means looking at them. Headphone stands exist, obviously, and they all do the same thing. They sit on your desk and eat the exact space your headphones were already eating, but vertically, and for $50. The best headphone stand is one that doesn't exist until the moment you need it. So that's what I'm making. A stand that lists under the desk, completely invisible, and pops out when I pull a handle. And here's the twist for this one. I'm giving myself one print. No prototypes, no version 7. I design it right, or I film a different video. Why one print? Because last time I made a wallet, it took 7 tries. So this time, the design does all the heavy lifting, and the printer gets one chance. Let's get into the design process. I measured the desk, measured the headphones, and drew the mechanism. That's it. If you're not seeing more, then that's because the video has a rule. But the mechanism is the whole video, so let me explain what has to go right. The stand is a simple button on a flat base that mounts under the desk with double-sided tape. Press the button and the arm swings down and out, locks into place, and holds the headphones just out past the desk edge. Push it back and it clicks home flat, gone. The pop-out is driven by your own arm, so there's no need to print a spring. No screws, no glue, and no assembly. It comes off the plate, finished. You see, a moving mechanism in one piece is just like pouring a working clock out of a bottle. The joints have to be printed already assembled with a tiny air gap between the moving parts, and that gap is the entire game. Too big and the arm flops around like a loose tooth. Too small and the printer bridges the gap with plastic and welds your moving part into a decorative one. The sweet spot is about 1 millimeter. My entire one print gamble is riding on a gap about the size of a fingernail. There's one more flaw, and it's the tape. Every time your arm pulls the handle, it shoves against the mount, and tape has the personality. It's incredibly strong when you drag it sideways, and pathetically weak when you peel it from an edge. So the base is shaped to turn everything. The handles pull and the weight of the headphones into a sideways drag across the tape instead of a peel. If I get that wrong, the stand pops out exactly once, along with itself. So everything is drawn, the gaps are set, the handle's ready, and it's time for one print. 50 minutes. This is where I'd normally relax, but there's no version 2 today. So let's talk about what the printer is doing, because for a one-shot print, the boring stuff is everything. This is the Bambu Lab P1S, and before it prints a single line of my mechanism, it cleans its own nozzle, flicks the crumbs off, and taps its way across the plate to map exactly how warped the bed is, and then corrects for it. That matters here more than it's ever mattered, because my 1/3 of a millimeter joint gaps are sitting in the first few layers. If that first layer squishes even tightly too hard, the gaps close, the joints weld, and the video ends. It's also fast without being shaky, and shake is the other assassin of small gaps. The P1S cancels out its own vibrations before they hit the plastic, so that walls of the small handle come out smooth instead of rippled, and ripples in a small handle like this one are pre-installed crack lines. 50 minutes on this machine, and the whole time it sounds like it knows what it's doing. The timer hits 0, the part comes off the plate. This is the moment of truth, and I want you to know I filmed this genuinely not knowing. I insert the part, first try. Everything works. The handle moves, the stand pops out. I press the tape onto the underside of the desk, held it for 30 seconds like it says to, and nobody ever does, and I hit the handle. It fired, the tape held, and the base didn't move a hair. One print, 0 failures. I don't know how to feel. I budgeted a whole act of this video for suffering. So that's it. A button under the desk, 50 minutes of plastic, a strip of gummy tape, and headphones that finally live somewhere that isn't in the way. And turns out the best thing I ever made from making a headphone stand was making it disappear. Thanks for watching.